Namaste, dear audience. We are here again with our seventh video in the series Patanjali Yoga Sutras Simplified for Common People. In the videos so far, we have seen that yoga is Chitta Vritti Nirodha. So, we have seen what is yoga, and then what we have seen is what is Chitta Vritti Nirodha. So, Chitta Vritti, as you know, is the thought waves in the mind or the mode of functioning of the mind, and Nirodha is restraining. So, yoga means restraining of the thought waves. Why? What is the purpose? We saw that the purpose is to concentrate by restraining thoughts so as to reach that super conscious state called samadhi, wherein we will be able to see the Atma Tattva and realize the self. And this will take us to our final aim of getting rid of unhappiness forever. Thereafter, we saw what of the Chitta Vrittis. Chitta Vritti, we know what it is, the thought waves or the cognitions, mode of functioning of the mind. And we also saw that there are 5 Chitta Vrittis, and they are Pramana Viparya Vikalpa Nidra Smriti. That means obtaining valid knowledge, getting false knowledge, getting conceptual knowledge without the presence of the object, sleep, and memory. Now, in this video of today, we are going to see the how of the Chitta Vritti Nirodha, how to restrain our thoughts, how to pacify our mind so that concentration is achieved. That's what we are going to see. After going through all the Yoga Sutras, I realized that for concentration, while Yoga Sutras tell that you must practice, that's obvious, you must practice concentration. But there are 3 underlying principles which I realized, and they can be summed up as many to one, big to small, and concrete to subtle or abstract. Now, what are these 3 principles? Let's see them one by one. The first principle is many to one, which means turn your mind from many objects to one object. What exactly does it mean? If you see the state of our mind, it is continuously engaged in thinking, and the thoughts are about different objects. Mind thinks of the objects or cognizes the objects one after another. Every moment there is a thought, and that thought can be about a different object that gets decided by the urgency of the moment or interest of the moment. So thus there is a diversity in the mind's activity. So what Patanjali says, hold your mind onto one concrete object, and that will help you to reduce the diversity, from diversity to unity. Holding on the mind to one object, what does it achieve? That Chitta Vrittis, thought waves about that object, are allowed to arise in the mind, but all other thoughts are warded off. All other distracting cognitions are kept away. So see, you have reduced the diversity considerably by focusing your mind on one object, a concrete object. The second principle is big to small. So what does it mean? That if you are focusing on the object, your mind is actually seeing or thinking or cognizing many parts of the object, and a part is smaller than the object. So now focus your mind on the part of the object. So that is big to small. I can give you an example for this. That suppose we decide to choose the idol of Bhagwan Buddha as our object of concentration. So when we focus our mind on the idol of Bhagwan Buddha, what we see is his face, his raised hand, his posture, his asana, and his hair, everything one after another we keep seeing, but it is only one object and we are thinking of nothing else. Then as you concentrate more and more, the parts start emerging in your mind. So for example, then you happen to see the raised palm and then you focus on that palm, and then from bigger to smaller your mind has traveled. So and then you see only the palm and its shape and all that, everything. The next idea is concrete to subtle or concrete to abstract. So here there are what we have seen is we have focused on the concrete object and a smaller object, but every concrete object is made of Panchamahabhutas, the five elements. The five elements are Prithvi, Aap, Jal, Vayu, Tej, or let's say the earth, water, fire, air, and space. These are the five elements. But there are even subtler principles than that, and they are called Tanmatras. Remember our map of creation in the Sankhya Yoga? That it is the Tanmatras, Shabda, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, Sparsha, that is the sound, the smell, the taste, the touch, the form. These are actually giving rise to the five elements. So they are subtle. So you focus on that. That is very small and that is almost abstract. It is not a concrete object. So that's what the third principle says. You can also say focus on the abstract. If I have to extend the example of Bhagwan Buddha, maybe when you hold your mind onto the face of the Buddha, later on you will get focused on the expression, facial expression, and then what kind of feeling is emerging in your mind? Your mind will get focused on that. It is peace, it is serenity, or whatever. Another example can be, let's say that from the object, I now just focus on the sense of touch. It's a tanmatra, sparsha is a tanmatra. And when I focus on that, I become extra sensitive to the touch and I start sensing even the touch of the air, a very small current of the air, or the coolness of the air. Or I might start smelling, I might start sensing my own breath. The touch of my own breath I can start sensing. See, this is tanmatra. Now no object, only the sparsha, only the touch. That's what you are focusing on. So that's another principle which Patanjali has advised to use, so that all the distracting cognitions are removed, warded off, your mind gets focused, and it is called from sthula to sukshma. Sthula is, there are two meanings, sthula is big and sukshma meaning is small. The other meaning is sthula is something which is made from Panchamahabhutas, a concrete object, and sukshma is tanmatra or an idea. Tanmatra or an idea, that's right. So, and that's how your mind starts focusing on smaller, minuter, and even more minute things. It achieves sharpness, concentration is improved, and the path to samadhi is then traversed. It's easy to say that focus your mind, Music is one example where can say that mind focusing is easy. When you are listening to a song or a classical music, you are hearing the tune, the instrument, the vocal, and the percussion instrument, the tabla, everything. So that's your first. You have focused on one song or one composition. Then you focus on its part. The part can be I am focusing only on the percussion instrument, how it is being played, and I am more concentrated on that. And then the third stage could be that the vibrations that the percussion instrument is creating, I focus only on that. They are the smallest, minutest part of that musical composition. So these are some practical examples to make you understand. But this is quite difficult. And Patanjali realized that there are three types of people in this world. Those who are a little evolved practitioners. For them, they understand what is concentration. It is easy for them to manage concentration. And for them, the term used is Uttama Sadhaka, the evolved practitioner. For them, his advice is use two means, Abhyas, Vairagya. Abhyasa is practice, Vairagya is detachment. Detachment from worldly affairs, detachment from desires, detachment from the fruits of your actions. So he says, Abhyasa Vairagya Abhyam Tam Nirodha. Means you can manage Chitta Vritti Nirod through practice and detachment. Then there are Madhyama Sadhakas, those who are middle order practitioners. They are not evolved, but they are not beginners either. They have a somewhat idea. So for them, he advises the path of Kriya Yoga. And Patanjali's Kriya Yoga consists of three elements: Tapas, Swadhyaya, Ishvara, Pranidhanani, Kriya Yoga. Tapas, that is tapas, or practicing austerity and contemplation. Swadhyaya, that is studies of scriptures, philosophies. Some people interpret this as Swadhyaya means self-analysis. That also helps. It's not that the meaning may be different, but it is helpful. And the third, he's a part of Kriya Yoga, is Ishvara Pranidham. That is, you dedicate yourself to the Almighty and all your actions also to the Almighty without desiring for their fruit. So that's how some people will traverse the path of concentration towards Samadhi. And for the beginners, what he advises is his most famous path, Ashtanga Yoga, the eightfold path, which consists of Yamaniyama, Asana Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. These are the Ashta Angas or 8 limbs of that path. What they mean is Yama is control, Niyama is discipline of behavior, Asana is the right and comfortable posture for concentration, Pranayam is control and management of breath so as to give focus to the mind, to stabilize the mind. Pratyahar is withdrawal of your sense organs inside. Dharana is holding mind to one point, one pointedness. Dhyan is contemplation, meditation, and Samadhi is a stage where you merge with the object while contemplating. And then Samadhi has got multiple advanced stages till you finally reach the stage of Atma Darshana. So this in all is the path advised by him, and we will be studying all three paths, the broad concepts of Abhyasa and Vairagya, and from there we will see what is Kriya Yoga also, and we will see what is Ashtanga Yoga also, and that's how our next path is charted out. I hope you have found this video interesting and enjoyable. Happy learning till we meet next time. Thank you.